Today's theme music is brought to us by Indiana Jones. Hey, how's everybody doing? Da, 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 da. My sound effects are awesome, right? Hey, guys. What's up? Get things settled in here. Seems like no matter how many times I start a show, I still have to get things arranged once I'm in here. Okay, I'm good to go. Yeah, Cane's. It's good chicken. I kind of like, I wonder what's better, Jesus chicken or Cane's chicken? You know, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A or Cane's? Probably about a toss-up. Sauce is awful. I kind of like the sauce. Yeah, I probably have had better sauces, but that's, yeah, everybody's got to have a signature sauce, you know, like the McRib sauce or the Tabasco. Mm-hmm. Bum crack picker. J Buzz. Yeah, I mean, they're like Chick-fil-A. All they do is chicken. Man, I would get so bored working there. There's only like 5 or 6 options, and it's all chicken. Well, they have ketchup, and I don't know if they got mustard or not. Drone hunter. Thank you, Beth. How you doing? Elon Musk needs to send some of his flamethrowers to New Jersey. I must be not watching the news because I don't know what that refers to. Good morning, Hank Allen Cash. Boy, it's so good having you jump back into the side chats and visit with us. Only a second of back this morning. What? I'm not following you, Jabez. I'm an old man. Black. Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay. I'm confused. I do like Kentucky Fried Chicken original recipe once in a while. I don't like their extra crispy though. Cane's by far. Chick-fil-A stinks. KFC too greasy. It is greasy. It's pressure fried, which is, it's not just fried chicken. It's not just pressure cooked chicken. It's a combination. It's pressure fried, which makes it really, really tender. But yeah, it's greasy. The Boring Company sells flamethrowers. Okay. What's wrong with that? He might as well get in on the military industrial complex as well as everybody else. Da, da. Nissa, Nissy. You're so cute, little Nissy. And KFC Wednesday is okay. $5. That's a good price. Any cha-chings? Not this morning. Orders. Let's see. Let me look. All right. You set me on a mission here. I got a report on yesterday's sales, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orders for a total yesterday of $211.85. 7 sales, 211 gross. There you go. Do do do. How are your sales? How's everybody else's sales? Good morning, Chastity. How are you? Pissy Nissy. File 13. Yeah, they're out at the curb right now. We have trash pickup on. Isn't that what everybody used to call it back in the day? Was you get a bunch of papers that didn't amount to worth keeping? It's like I probably still have all my tax returns from the 1980s, and they would be better in file 13, which is the trash can. um, they've been weird with clothes sales. They've been running bag sales, and yesterday they had men's clothes for 50 cents. So I bought a few clothes. So 50-cent shirts, 50 cent. I didn't get anything outstanding. I did get a couple of leather jackets for. Now the jackets were $3. I got two or three $3 jackets. Jabez got 11 sales. Flip it good. Yours crashed and burned again. Well, dang. Sadie, shouldn't you be at work? Just looking out for you. Man, that's a good. You must have had good mugs and plush. $160 for mugs and plush and a pillow cover. That's a lot of money for that kind of stuff, I think. Ain't that the deal? Circular file. Mr. Sadie, yep. Never heard of file 13 before? Yeah, it's like you get before the days of texting and emails, the principal's office at the school would send out notification in the teacher mailbox. Yeah, in the teacher workroom, they had this. Every teacher had a slot of stuff, and they put your mail addressed to you at the school in those slots, and then the principals would give out notes for the week. We all need to support our team at the pep rally Friday, and we need to get these kids to learn math better, and so I generally get it. File 13. Let's see here, but no sale. Do you sell? I wonder how many people they messaged before they figured out. Maybe people who have dog food for sale sell dog food. Yeah, but are they crunchy? Yeah, there's no telling. Oh, I got an eBay message. Maybe I'm going to make a sale. Let's see what my message says. Da da da. Messages. Resolved. USPS label error on eBay. There was a technical issue impacting one or more of your USPS shipping labels you purchased using eBay shipping labels on December 12th. That was yesterday. Labels were generated indicating the package contains hazardous goods identified with an oversized letter H. If you have not already shipped impacted packages, we recommend that you cancel the label. Now they're gone. They were shipped. Your item will be processed for delivery by USPS with possible delivery delays. Great. They don't say which packages. Seller protections for late shipments and any delayed deliveries will be extended for these transactions. We apologize for any inconvenience. What? eBay made a glitch on their shipping labels? What the heck? The eBay shipping team. Oh, here's the tracking numbers. Dang, 4 different packages. Frickin' rack snacking crap and rap frackin'. I should probably message those buyers and say, eBay screwed up your label and there could be a delay. Dang it. I got enough problems. I make enough mistakes on my own. I don't need eBay to make mistakes. Maybe the post office will get so many of those in that they'll just kind of ignore them. Yeah, I generally use eBay shipping because the last, I don't know how long, their prices have been about the same as pirate ship. And it's right there on the screen. All I gotta do is do 2 clicks instead of go to pirate ship or shipping. I used to use pirate ship all the time, but I'm lazy and it's easier just to use eBay. Yeah, I still haven't heard back from. They denied my negative feedback removal because the customer put it down as an INAD. But I still haven't heard about reporting. I reported the person as well. Oh, Cheeto Toes. I flip back and forth between the 2 tabs. No issue at all. Yeah, it's an extra click. I'm too lazy. Need to say that message. Yeah, I know, Sandy. Golly. eBay don't screw up. So, how's everybody's fourth quarter going? Mine is good. It's not spectacular, but it's good. I wanted to do $20,000 a week, but I'm not there. Dang, it's time for a new phone. Uh, I have check it out. When I'm trying to charge it or hook it up to the computer to download pictures, the connector doesn't, when you push it in, it doesn't work. It doesn't make contact. So I have to prop it on something like this pen. Bam. And then it connects. The connector kind of gets pressed down, I guess, against the contacts. So it's a 20K next week. I need between now and the end of the year to reach $100,000 in total sales. Between now and the end of the year, I need 14,000 more in sales. I don't think I'm going to get there. Yeah, I've cleaned it. I used a lot of tricks and stuff to try to clear it out. Alcohol on a little swab and stuff, but I've tried like 15 different charge cables. It's all the same. It's the phone, it's not the cable. Originally I thought it was the cable, but it's not. It's really a pain when you're in the car and trying to charge it because then you got to find something to prop the wire on like this. Mm, there you go. Customers. Morning Tactical Z. We're here. Trust me, use a toothpick. All right, I'll give it another shot. All right, I'm here by myself. I'm going to put an invitation in the side chat if anybody wants to come on and join the show because I'm sure I'm boring all by myself. All by myself. Don't want to be all by myself anymore. If you don't want to hear my singing, join the show. That'll get you to come in. So there's my Nordic track. The treadmill. Look at all the eBay inventory stacked up about 3 feet high on it. I need to get off my duff and get to walking. Tactical Z, once more singing from me? You crazy, crazy. You have to keep buying sales. Man, I have so much stuff. If I bought anything now, it would be really stupid. I did buy 2 pair of boots yesterday from the Lutherans too for $5 a pair. They should be worth 30 or 40 bucks a piece. So anyway, I don't mind selling boots and shoes. It's kind of therapeutic to sit here and watch a show and and put some polish on or some. I like mink oil. Put mink oil on leather. It makes them look good. Kind of hides the surface scuffs and gives them kind of a polish. Yeah, the Nordic track makes good shelving. Deal at the same time. I am not going to buy. Good morning, Lissa. Lissa, I almost called you Nissa because we have a Nissy. Morning, Todd, handsome hand. And Todd, too. Best show to start working to. I'm going to attempt to take apart my computer desk. Why are you taking apart your computer desk? Did you get a new one? Bum, 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 bum. Went through the last 2 weeks of shipping, checking on items not yet delivered. One delayed package, one that is coming back for a bad address. Yeah, why are you taking apart your desk? Bum, 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 bum. Mink oil also helps make leather more. Yeah. That stuff used to be pretty cheap, but it's not cost prohibitive, but it's close. And they used to sell it in like 8 ounce. But I've been using this stuff for decades. We used to put. You remember when waffle stompers first came out? Y'all are too young. You know, I remember when suede waffle stompers first came out. Man, everybody had to have a pair. It was like junior high school. God, what year would that have been? Like the mid '60s? Y'all aren't old enough. Yeah, because before waffle stompers came out, um, all boots were just slick on the bottom. Oh my God, it's Josh.
I got an echo on here though. Are you hearing me good with audio? I got a weird
Yeah,
echo.
but your mouth doesn't match the words you're saying. I hear you
That's
fine.
okay.
Oh my God, you got an echo. I don't have an echo. How are you this morning?
Good, good. Let me see if I can fix this.
Okay. All right. Josh, have you ever been on my live before? Well, there's a good shot. Look at the ceiling lights.
I have been on your live before. Yeah, let me see if I can fix this.
Oh, Anissa, please. Come on, come on. Are you there yet? You're attempting to move. No. Dang. I hate moving. I would rather somebody strapped me to the wall and summarily whipped me rather than have to move. God, there's no way. They're gonna have to bury me in my death pile. Dope smokers? No, waffle stompers. Anyway, waffle stompers was the first time I ever used mink mink oil, and because they were suede, it really changed it made them a whole lot darker looking. Now I hear my echo a little bit. Tactical Z. Everybody's welcome. Y'all need to
Do
come
you
up
hear
with
yourself?
some just slightly. Not now though. Lag my tail.
I might have to drop Todd. I'm not getting this audio working. This is where I need John and Beard. Beard, where are you? Beard's watching. Beard, help me. What's going on here? What am I doing wrong?
Your words are matching your mouth now. There's nothing wrong on this end. Are you not hearing it correctly? Earth to Josh. Can you hear me? He doesn't hear me. Dang it. That was going to be great. I've never had Josh on my show, or if I did, it's been a long time. I've been on other channels where Josh came on, but not mine. I'll be buried. Yeah, I would. I can be sitting here in my eBay bat cave, and I'll hear crash. Something fell over out the death pile. I don't know how many times toothbrush holders have mysteriously jumped out of their bags and just crashed. Dang it. Yeah, moving's expensive too. Bum, bum, bum. Dang it, Liz. I hate to move. God, I hate to move. And then when I'm not moving, it seems like one of the boys is moving. Dad, can you bring your truck and trailer to help me move? My God. Okay. No, it's not a ghost. It's just I got stuff piled up so high and deep and wide that deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide and deep. That's an old Sunday school song. Oh, this whole thing. But anyway, yeah, I got stuff piled up everywhere. It's really a wonder Gwen hadn't killed me. They probably would have been great when the dogs were pups, but they're old girls now. Old girls. One's like 11 years old and the other one's like almost 16. There you go. Mm. Morning, Ron. There you go. That's the way you need to do it, folks. Just buy a house and stay there. Don't move. Yeah, instead of toothbrush holders, I should list them as dog toys. Sweet. Yeah. I don't need to buy any more stuff. I've got stuff. Da, 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 da. There's your theme music.
I think we're better now. I can hear you. There's no lag. Is it better?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
was it was good on my end when you left.
Yeah, but I was getting some serious lag on my end. So while I was speaking, it was coming back like 30 seconds later.
and then your voice would repeat and repeat and repeat. Anyway, it seems like it's fixed now. I just don't know that I can see the comments. That's the only thing.
Wouldn't that be great if my voice repeated a lot? Probably not.
Okay, make it so that I can see the
So,
comments. Yeah, I had like 100 windows open, so I think the issue was on my side of things. So I was doing all my research, and I usually start my computer again in the morning when I get here, but today it's just been like a crazy kind of day of running circles. How are
mhm.
sales, Todd?
I am. I'm good. I'm like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm like 12,000 more than I did in 23,
Oh, wow.
and 23 was the best year I ever had before that. So,
I think you might be in the minority of sellers right now.
I think I am just becoming better at being a reseller. I think it's got
Yeah,
nothing to do with anything except um,
that has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
as the years have gone by of selling, I don't buy the crap that I used to that won't sell.
Better stuff is coming up right now too. So
And
you have the option to be selective if you want.
yeah, I need to be selective. I got so much crap.
I got a lot
This
too.
the side chat over here has seen my recent videos. I've had truckloads of stuff coming here and I only work out of my house. So yeah, I'm inundated with stuff. Yesterday I listed 12 items of horse tack,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
bridles and saddle
Yep.
pad and stuff like that. So, um, I don't know. I, I listen to your videos. I'm like, I'm go- we need to seize the market. This is the wave of the future. And I'm like, nah. I, I'm a one-off seller, and I appreciate the push, but
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
mean,
I
you
don't
might
have
be.
to. I'm old and I got a retirement check. I don't have to
This is
push
the
to be the
difference, right?
best. Hmm.
This is the difference, and it's just everyone's doing their own sort of path or whatever. But I can only like you can only talk your experience. I can only talk mine. Like if I want to build, want to build a business. So it's just me turning. You know how it is. You turn on a camera, you don't know what you're gonna say. Like nothing's rehearsed. So it's just like genuinely what I'm up to at that point in time. And I even watched some of my older videos, and I was like, what was I thinking? Why did I think that was a good idea? So I wonder too if 2 years from now, if I'll watch videos and be like, what was I thinking? So I don't know. It's your turn to talk.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading the side chat. Todd has a hell of a system. He buys stuff that should go to a landfill. And sister, yeah, I was emptying out a Gaylord day before yesterday, and I rolled the trash can out to the pickup so that I could go trash, keep, and just there was quite a lot of trash in there. There was like probably 50 iPhone 6 cases.
Garbage, yeah. When I was doing storage units, a lot of times, like 90% of those storage units are garbage. You'd go through it, and it's just. I, I have a theory that when people are on hard times, they'll start getting rid of their valuable stuff, or they'll go into their unit and they'll take all the valuable stuff, and like whatever's not worth it to them, that's what they leave behind. So when you went through these storage units, a lot of times like 90% donations are garbage, and you just hope that off that 10% you're going to make the amount of money that you need to make. That's so much garbage.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
a mentality
absolutely.
too. Like people have a hoarding mentality, where they just buy dollar store, Dollar General stuff, and they hoard it. They can't let it go.
Don't do that, Phil. Do not Google Pix my house because it's all sitting outside. Uh, but yeah, somebody's got to keep our local trash pickup people
On their
uh
toes.
on their toe. Yeah, yeah. I've got a we have a yearly garage sale, so I run one. But yeah, I used to buy storage units. I probably That's been years ago now, but I probably bought about 15 different units,
Oh wow.
and
Yeah.
I I think two of them were just bangers. I made thousands in each one of the two, and then about 10 of them were okay. I made profit. It was worth it.
Yeah.
And then like three of them were just every bit of it was just trash, just garbage, just
Well,
wasted
for
time.
for me, a lot of local ones were just getting worse. Like that whole market. I don't know if it's the YouTube video guys or just like reselling or what it was, but the units were consistently getting worse. And you had to get into the game where you're talking to the storage unit managers. You're knowing that they're already going through it. They know what's in the unit already. They were like, here's the ones to bid on. Here's the ones we're salting. We're making look better. And there was just so much like fraud and nonsense and crazy in there that the margins were kind of getting slimmer. Um, so I don't know. It's not. I still do them, I guess, every once in a while, but it's not really unless it's like really jumping out at me. It's a lot of work that I don't want to deal with right now.
Yeah, I look at the every once in a while I look at the videos of the big storage unit buyers, and they always seem to talk about, well, I heard about this unit
Yeah.
that it was going to be good, or I heard that there was brand new in package luxury items, and like, how do they know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
So the
the ones I've been to, you just go and look in the front door, and you go,
yeah the only one I really know that like that I've talked to and kind of developed a friendship with was Rene Najota, and I think he does sports cards primarily now. But he was saying I never buy units unless I already know what's going on with them. And also, you got to watch with the YouTube videos because a lot of these guys are saying, oh, I spent 20,000 on this unit, and we'll see, what I get. And I'm like, well, I saw that auction. I know that unit went for 3,300. So, you can say anything you want on video, but to get the views and be like, I spent 20,000, am I going to get my money back? But they only spend like 3,500. So the whole thing, I don't know. That market's got to cool off. It's probably in the process of it.
yeah. But it's a nice change of pace. So if you're going to watch a lot of YouTube
Oh yeah.
sellers, so many of them have like garage sale videos that they go to, and that's okay. I
Yeah.
enjoy watching those, but
There's something on in the background.
yeah,
I don't watch as much reselling content. I've kind of laid off. I don't know if it's just the phase that I'm going through, but I feel like I've said everything and everything's been said. So I just want to talk about other things mostly. What is there to say anymore? Find good items, list them, and work hard, and that's it. You know, find your lane and give her.
yeah, yeah. That's true. Harry, he likes to do clean outs on old houses.
I do it too. Yeah. Harry, do you get paid for it? Sometimes they'll pay me like $500 or $1,000 to do the clean out, and it's just like get rid of the stuff, and then
Craig,
Craig, how's it
What's up?
going?
Oh yeah,
I'm doing well. How are you?
just another day in the neighborhood.
That's it.
look, I get a celebrity on with me, and all the low life comes out and wants to be on the show now.
Are you calling me a low life, Todd?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Who was what? Who played what role?
No, Josh. I don't think you knew Craig was coming on, so I was insulting Craig right there.
That's nice. I'm used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, Harry. So so you just go in and get the good stuff, and then they somebody else cleans it out. That's good. I've been doing the clean out myself, Harry, and it takes a lot of work. But I'll go for everything. Like I'll replace the switches on the wall or the plate covers. So if they have those old brass scroll or like plate covers or whatever, I'll replace them with plastic ones. I'll replace the vents so I can get the old ones. And a lot of times they'll pay me to do it. So it's a pretty good gig, but I'm doing it by myself. So it's, you know, when you get dealing with furniture and fridges and deep freezers and all this garbage in the garage, it gets to be a lot.
Yeah, I think Pete, the Craigslist hunter, used before he had his store, would do clean outs of estates.
That's how he started. Yeah.
Yeah.
People were paying him to, and that's how he started his store, because he was spilling over with stuff. And he's like, you know, I got to find a way to sell this stuff. So he said he had a really good run with that for a long time. But you know, he's pretty inspiring. If you hear his early stories about all the different things he tried and how many times he was almost circling the drain and how close he came before things started clicking, it's pretty inspiring.
Yeah,
He's got a point now where everything comes to him, though.
Yeah. His channel's good for that. So he said that too. He's like, people just want to be on the show, so they'll bring stuff in and they'll buy stuff. And but he's worked hard for it. I mean, he deserves it. And he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
He's like a no BS. I like that about him. He's genuine. He's not BSing people or trying to scam them into stuff. He's just kind of straight up, like the old school style business guys.
Josh, did you watch his video where in 2025 he's planning to go on the road and video collections?
That's smart.
And I'm sitting here thinking, Josh has a collection. You need to get him to come up to Niagara and go through your stuff.
I've
and
spoken
do
to
a
him.
video about it.
I was going to go down there because I don't know if he's going to host his reselling get together or whatever, but I'd like to just go down there and meet with him. I could probably drive there within 6 hours or so and just to say hi.
Right.
But, yeah, if he wants to see my stuff, he's always welcome. Go out for dinner or something.
So the website's doing well?
Yeah, website is doing, it's a little bit slow right now, but I think the collectibles are slow in general.
Yeah.
Because people are spending money right now on gifts and stuff. So, but they'll come back in January.
I'm in the low end card business. That's not my primary, but I've got a lot of other stuff, and I'm down to. I bought a storage unit about 2 years ago and ended up with about 5,000 Magic the Gathering cards, and I sell those daily, but I'm out of all my high end stuff. But
yeah, are you finding it a little bit slower right now, or are people buying it for gifts?
I don't know. The cards are majority of my inventory. I've got about 1,500 listings. I sell 3 to 5 a day.
Yeah.
The good thing about cards is they're easy to store, they're easy to pack, they're easy to ship.
That's the thing. And because I have a lot, like it's a different type of card, but it's the same thing. I just store it in these boxes, and they, it doesn't take up a lot of room. But yeah, and they're like easier to list. You can just spend like an hour or two listing, and but the stuff that I sell is harder to find. That's the only thing. I really have to like circle the globe to find this stuff because it's all from the 1860s and 70s.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever knew Dusty, Alabama Picker.
I watched his videos, but I didn't know him personally. Scott knows, Scott.
Yeah, he was big into postcards, and I kind of questioned it when he was doing it. But if you get a scanner,
oh yeah,
it's incredible how fast you can list items.
Now you can do it with AI. You can just, I don't want to give up anyone's secrets, but you can do it with AI. And I've seen it, and it blows me away how hands off it is.
Yeah,
it blows me away. You can do it with cards too.
I'm surprised. I've used Card Dealer Pro on the sports card side.
Yeah,
and it's AI. It does it's about 70% confident.
So you load them.
I'm surprised it's not any better.
So you load them. It scans front and back, and then it fills out item specifics. Gives you title as well.
Yeah, the titling you can set a template up. I haven't tweaked that well enough yet, but one thing I don't like about it is it gives you a link to pull up the eBay comps, but it doesn't pull that information into the screen when you're looking at. So I'm looking at a batch of 119 cards I scanned in yesterday. I have to actually click on each one and click on the eBay link to look at. It gives me the query to search eBay.
Yeah.
but I have to go there and look at it. But I mean, there's so many of these tools out here that use AI, and I look at it and think, why does this not do this one specific feature?
Give it a year.
AI, the level it is at now.
Give it a year.
Yeah.
Probably get
I know we're just on the edge of all that, but
yeah, exactly. Harry says,
Okay.
Josh, what do you like to pick? I mostly sell antiques, Harry. That's my thing. So, and what I'm getting, like right now, I'm doing a lot of older photos. Like that's my primary thing, and I'm going to keep that business going as a side thing. But sometimes I just come into like a crazy collection of antiques, and then that's my thing. It's whatever I come across. But I'm not a picker. I like to buy big collections or do big cleanouts.
Yeah, I sell anything and everything. And I got anything and everything in that pallet lot. Like, does anybody here need a silicone enema kit?
I will have to pass. I think I'm okay.
I got one. I got one ready for you here. If you need a silicone enema kit, I got you covered.
I prefer just raw plastic.
You better be careful there, Todd. That bag looks opened.
Yeah, I'll probably just chuck it.
Could have some human remains on it.
Yeah.
No, ooh, DNA. No, it really looks new. The stuff looks new on the inside, but the bag is kind of dusty on the outside, and the tag is wrinkled. Yeah, it'll probably just go in the trash.
That's always what you want to buy on eBay is an old enema kit.
Yep.
Vintage.
It's vintage. Lightly used. Lightly used.
Chastity. I'll pass. No pun intended.
You got to put tested works in the title, Todd.
Scott needs it because we all know.
Wow.
How funny. I should sell it to Commonwealth Picker because he's big into animas.
Oh yeah, just ship it to him anonymously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin will be okay with that.
He'll probably autograph it for you.
Yeah.
From your favorite guy in Texas who sells stuff on eBay. Here you go.
Josh, I think you were talking about the whole niching down thing yesterday, the day before, and when I can see both sides of that, especially with my card, the card stuff I sell. I enjoy it. And I've been in that hobby since the early 80s. I have a hard time niching down overall. Just saying, hey, this is all I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Number one, I probably have some level of ADD, which everybody does probably. But
if you've been doing this since the 80s, I think I'm talking when I'm talking to people, it's like a lot of people like me have only been doing it for a few years, and they're like, because I found with me, I hit a ceiling. I'm like, I can't grow anymore.
Right.
And the problem is, I got kids and mortgage and all this other stuff I got to pay for, right? So you're always like, how do I grow? How do I grow? And then you find something that works, and I'm like, I'm going to go on there and tell people like, this seems to be what's working for me.
Right.
But that being said, antiques. So when I say I've niched into antiques, that's a massive category.
Yeah.
Like you could just do Chinese porcelain, or you could just do jade and kill it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I just think I have a hard time walking by something and knowing that there's value. And
you've been doing it for so long, though.
Right.
1980s is 40 years ago.
Well, I haven't been selling eBay that long, but I was collecting cards for that long, so I know the category pretty well, especially on the sports side.
Yeah.
But
for me, it's just I'm not throwing anything out, but I'm looking for antiques. That's what I want. Right. That market never went into mania, really. When everything shut down in the 2020 kind of time, all these markets went into mania, like sports cards,
it went crazy.
Clothing, everything went nuts. Video games, but antiques never went crazy. So at least now I know where the baseline of that market is, kind of what's good and what isn't. You didn't have people like rushing through antique stores, buying all this stuff and marking it up double, triple, 3 times the price.
Yeah.
But
I don't remember the charging cables, Chastity. I got so much stuff. I don't know what I've got.
Don't have one lag. No time for games. I got a son that plays though.
The other thing is, Craig, if you come in this, I don't know where you live, but in this area, it's like pretty depressed. So the people that are doing reselling, it's like a competition big time. big time for the good stuff.
Right.
So you're not going to yard sales so much and finding video games or anything. Like it's Niagara Falls is epitome of the Rust Belt.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's tough. It's tough, but antiques are everywhere. Like this is the region. This is a very old region in the United States. A lot passing through here, so
Oh yeah.
the stuff is here.
I'm about 2 hours south of Scott.
Okay. Okay.
Around Birmingham.
Right.
Yard sales are okay here. I mean, I'm not going to find the kind of stuff that y'all find up there.
Go south
Okay,
more.
Chastity, I need to write a note. I'll try to get with you on that.
Those guys find in Florida and Utah, and when I was on the West Coast in California, it was crazy. Like I would drive down the highway. I think it was Highway 4, and every mile somebody was selling something out of their garage. Because it's like a major highway, you don't see that here at all, all, and it's good stuff too.
Our yard sale season has been terrible. I don't get out a lot. It seems like they're just so spread out, and I don't like driving. Stop at one, drive 15 minutes, go to another one. That drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing with up there, you've got probably a bunch of retirees that are possibly retiring up in that area. In Florida, a ton of retirement communities. So you've got people at the age where they're trying to, get rid of stuff they've had for 70, 80, 90 years, however long they've been,
Well, yeah. And then a lot of these Rust Belt cities were in the Victorian era. These were like America's like big cities. Like this is where architecture happened. This is where, they were the victors after the Civil War. So they had these like beautiful cities, Buffalo, St. Louis, Cleveland, Dayton,
a lot of history,
tons of history. And then Detroit. And then it just kind of, it fell off as the rest of the country picked up, and the manufacturing kind of left, but all that history sort of stayed. It's still in the area.
Yeah. We've had an antique booth for going on. We opened our first one a year ago, October. It's been a struggle. We had our best month last month. We opened the second one. We bought a dealer out about a month and a half ago. They've done pretty well. It's about 30 minutes away from here, which is tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a bunch of those up there or not, but they're like you're talking about competition. It's crazy. The one that's 5 minutes away, it was a year's wait to get a spot.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems like the business model is to own those places, because they just charge their rent and their fee on the sale. And
we pay. I've got 2 8x10s, and I pay $175 for one and $185 for another one, and we pay I think it's 13% plus a like a 3% if they use a credit card
processing fee. Yeah.
I mean, we still do okay because we've got little to nothing. It's not like we're going out and buying stuff.
Well, you don't have to babysit it either. They take care of it, right? You just got to top it up every once in a while and see.
We go up there about twice a week.
Yeah,
we enjoy it. The challenge is finding the right items, and as soon as I think I'm gonna take something off the shelf and hey, it hadn't sold in 2 months, the craziest little small item will sell. I'm like, why is somebody buying this plastic trinket that has no value for $3?
Yeah.
What's up, Glenn?
There you go. I don't have to talk when I got good guests on.
Is there somebody else on the screen we don't see? You're talking about good resale.
It's been a long time since you guys were on my channel, but I guess it's because my birthday's tomorrow and y'all just wanted to celebrate with me.
Oh yeah, happy birthday! That's exactly why.
We just felt sorry for you in your old age.
I know. Thanks.
The white. I don't know if you can see the white boxes back there, Lag. Those are new. Those are the phonograph cylinder records that I've been picking up. I think I picked up about 250 or 300 or so over the past week.
Yeah, we used those back when I was young. Yeah.
I think they're before your time. They might even be before your parents' time.
Wow.
Pretty old, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn, I saw those. Glenn sold, are you familiar with Red Wing boots? He sold a pair of 30-year-old Red Wing boots and got $300+ for them.
Oh, nice.
They were cool. Glenn did. Nice.
Thanks, Swamp. Uh, how many pairs of Red Wings did you get? Just one pair?
I was watching Johnny show this one. I think he got them. They were his dad's.
Oh,
I think it was just one pair. That's all they
Yeah.
showed. I don't know if he had more than that. What's up, Jennifer? How are you?
Chavis.
Cool.
Man, I got to tell you guys, I don't want to complain or anything, but I was cooking. I was doing so well this quarter, and then 2 days ago I got hit with this stupid case. I lost it. I had to call in. They reversed it in my favor, but did it ever kill me? I'm doing like 3 days of almost nothing. It's crazy how those little things can kill you. And when we talked to Bert on the Profit Playbook podcast, he said that he goes, "You don't know how much cases will destroy your account."
I think everything has an impact on your search results, right? Where you show up in those. People talk about how quickly you answer a question that comes in.
Yeah,
you may think that's small, but it has some impact, I think.
Well, it was on December 11th, and I was doing about, I would say 35 offers an hour. So
Wow.
Things were cooking and they were just flying. Everything was good. Sales were good. And then I woke up and there were only 2. So I sent them out, and then there was nothing for the rest of the day. I had no real sales, nothing going on. And I'm like, okay, something's going on. I'm going to get a case. Sure enough, it was an item that went to the post office. They didn't want to pick it up. So they opened up a case with eBay. I had no idea that this was even going on. eBay ruled in their favor, even though there's delivery attempts. So they call it in, they reversed it. Everything's good, but it just totally destroyed me. So even this morning I woke up, there's no offers, nothing. Sales are very, very slow. And I just know, when stuff like this happens, I know why, I know what's coming. And it takes about like a week for things to kind of get going again. So
yeah, it's a lot like coming off of time away on a vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've always been against that. I extend my handling time versus going on vacation mode.
Yeah.
I may be right, I may be wrong. I don't know, but I've heard horror stories of turning on vacation mode and it's 3 or 4 days and you don't get anything.
Oh yeah. I put it on vacation mode because I didn't want to worry about it when I went on vacation in the summer. Right. And I thought I'd at least get a certain amount a day because I do have a lot of items up. It dropped. Uh-oh. It went vertically down.
Did I freeze?
Impressions.
Sales. I wasn't looking
Right.
at it too closely, but
happened?
Go for a walk.
Well, there's Craig back. There's Josh back. What the hell happened?
It's you, Todd.
I guess.
Let's just kick Todd off and we'll be fine.
That's it. But yeah, I'd go for like the day, for a drive in the mountains, and you wouldn't get any cell phone service, and I'd come back thinking, 5, 6 sales.
Nothing.
It was nothing.
Yeah, Todd, you're frozen. I don't know if you can hear us or not. At least what I see.
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
You're frozen on
StreamYard.
Frozen. I'm not looking at
your black screen for me, but I can hear you perfect. It's your internet connection, but you'll eventually come back, Todd.
Oh my God. We've had a lot of wind lately, so I may have a little trouble.
Call AOL and tell them your dollop is frozen.
But I would say the whole point of that story for me is that if you can avoid a case, like if you're arguing with a customer or whatever, even if you're in the right, just make it go away because the lost sales are crazy. Like this one surprised me. Usually I can resolve it pretty quick, but sometimes they just go straight to case and you don't even know what's going on because they call in. So
and so many people are quick to do that instead of getting in touch with you to try and resolve it.
Yeah. Well, in this case, like they're up to something bad. So, when you look at the tracking history and you see that there's delivery attempts and they're not accepting it, probably what they do is, in my mind, they put a sign on the door saying, "Don't leave packages at the door," or something like that. So they keep saying delivery attempt, no safe place to place the package or whatever. Mm-hmm. They bring it back to the post office. The person won't go to pick it up. And then they open up a case. But all this effort is like a $10 item. It's like a cassette tape. I'm like, what are you wasting everyone's time for over $10? Do you even really need this cassette tape or want it? Like, what's the big deal?
So. And in the end, talking about that $10 cassette tape, if you've got 50 cents into it, a dollar, whatever you got into it,
or nothing.
so many people look at those kind of situations. Well, it cost me $10. No, it didn't. It cost you whatever you paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, like the cassette tapes would be like, I bought 2,000 of them.
Right.
So it's the lot is already done and taken care of. I would much sooner just deal with, like, let this go. It's when it surprises you, you can't do anything about it. You know, it's like you wake up and you have funds are on hold, case against you. We've ruled in the buyer's favor. It's like, that's the first you ever hear of anything going on.
Right.
So.
Yeah. eBay has become much more of a buyer centric. Back when I started selling in the late 90s, early 2000s, sellers could leave negative feedback for buyers. I'm not saying you should, that's a big thing, but
yeah,
I think they've taken the Amazon approach that a buyer can return anything without question.
Yeah.
It's so different.
Well, and honestly, for the most part, like 99%, I'm okay with the way everything is going. Like I'm happy with the platform. I don't even mind not leaving negative feedback. I don't really care. I don't want to get into these pissing matches with buyers.
Right.
The only thing that bothers me is that when something does happen, even if you're like a fairly big established seller, you will get shut off while they sort things out. And then it's like going on vacation.
Yeah.
And then it takes time. Like even going on vacation, why shut it down like that? I guess they don't want the buyers to have a bad experience. I don't know,
but if you're selling quantity, what's one case out of $100 million in sales and a quantity of whatever the numbers are,
Well, and that's what I mean. So yeah, this cassette tape is basically free. Like I really don't care, let it go. But if you look at my numbers now, we're going on $2,200 in sales drop over the past 3 days.
Ugh.
That $1 cassette tapes cost you money.
It's cost me over $2,000.
Right.
There's nothing I can do.
And in the end, that's costing eBay money.
Sure, unless they're diverting the sales elsewhere. Like
right.
maybe those people are buying anyway. They're just not buying from me.
They're buying from your promoted listing.
Yeah, exactly. So just wait it out. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I hate that expression. It is what it is.
Well, I mean,
I've heard it so much the last 5-10 years, and I don't know.
It's me dismissing something that I'm actually not happy about, but there's literally nothing you can do.
I know,
it's outside of your control.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's one of those expressions I think has gotten overused.
How about que sera? You wanna bring that back?
Que sera, sera. Who sang that, Craig? Craig should know. He's old.
I don't have a clue.
You don't know who sang Que Sera?
I don't.
I just had it. I just sold it. I literally just sold it. I just sold it.
She was a good singer and had a TV show for a while.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue. Let's see if anybody in the side chat who knows who sang Que Sera, Sera. Don't Google. That's cheating.
I just sold it.
You don't remember who the singer was if you just sold it?
I don't remember, no. When I was just a girl, I asked my mother, what should I be? Shall I be famous? Shall I be rich? Here's what she said to me.
Yeah.
Don't give up your date.
It's at the tip of my tongue and I can't remember.
Phil knows. He's old like me. Yep, Doris Day.
Nice. Johnny Horton.
That was like number one on the number one hit in like 1968 or something, 1965 or something like that.
That's probably why I didn't know it. I wasn't around at that point.
Yeah, you're a young pup.
Johnny Horton. I just sold some Johnny Horton too, the singing fisherman. My dad loved Johnny Horton.
Singing fisherman.
Yeah.
Doris Day.
Oh, here's a question for you, Todd.
Okay.
So there's this girl, I don't know her name, this girl that Hank Williams was seeing, Hank Williams Sr. And then he ended up passing away, of course, as everybody knows. And then this girl started dating Johnny Horton, and he got in a car accident and passed away. So this same girl then started seeing Johnny Cash. And Johnny Cash is like, I don't want anything to do with you. You're bad news. And I forget her name, but they called her like the Black Widow or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
I seem to remember that. I don't remember who that was.
Javis, Buddy Holly, he's like one of the few. I did a little short on 78 RPM records. Buddy Holly is one of the few that actually was on the old Shellac 78s when he was still with the Crickets.
Brenda Lee, Phil says.
Yeah, Texas. Doris Day was attractive, definitely.
Was Brenda Lee the one who was the Black Widow?
I think so. Maybe it was Brenda Lee. Yeah, I think Doris Day died young too, didn't she? She was.
She wasn't very old, I don't think.
No, I think she died young.
I remember she was
Brenda
on
Lee.
the Carol Burnett show one time, and Carol Burnett came out to introduce her, and Doris came walking out, and of course Carol busts into "Que Sera," that comical singing.
Yeah,
she did.
yeah. I remember Carol Burnett doing the Charleston with Lucille Ball and Lucille Ball's daughter, because I guess Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's daughter was a dancer as well. And that was so cool. I think that was on the Carol Burnett show that they did that.
Carol Burnett was low-key hot.
I think I only know this stuff because all this stuff was syndicated in Canada like 30 years after. They're so far behind before free trade. So yeah, I Love Lucy was a funny show. Lucy. I remember her and her friend, they were packing chocolates, and the chocolates were coming so quickly, and she's like stuffing them in her mouth and down her shirt.
Yeah, there were a bunch of great bits that she did. I remember the one where she was taking a vacation in Italy, and she got into a vat of grapes and was squishing them with her feet.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
And she didn't like it originally, and then after she had done it for a little bit, her expression changed. Ooh, this is nice.
Yeah, and I think she's from Western New York originally, isn't Lucy? I think. I think she was.
I don't know. And the one where she's advertising some kind of sauce or something. Yeah, grape stomping episode. It was hilarious.
Celeron, New York.
New York.
See, this is my problem, Todd, is everything we're talking about right now, these are all my pop culture references. So when I'm out with my friends and they're talking about things that I really don't know much about, like football and, current songs and stuff, I'm like quoting stuff from the 50s and 40s and 30s and 20s. I'm like, oh, Rudolph Valentino, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about?
You're an old soul, Josh.
That's it.
Yeah, how many people your age and younger are into antiques and pop culture from back in the day? Not so many. Not so many,
no. A lot of the dealers that I work with, they're in their 70s or 80s, and they don't want to do that anymore. They want to do their wheeling and dealing where they're sitting there reading the newspaper and you show up and they kind of barter back and forth and then they sell the item. That's what they want to do, like a little bit slower pace. They don't want to be like grinding 10 hours a day, all this other stuff. And the other problem I find, let me know what you guys think about this. People under 40 do not know how to talk in general. It's really weird. Like when I'm dealing with people who are under 40, they're like, you're talking to them. They don't say anything back. They can't negotiate. There's like a trouble with interacting. And I see it when they go to the dealers too. Like they're like, how much is this item? he's like, I don't know, like maybe $30. And they just stare at them and walk away. Like, negotiate. Say 20 is all, talk. Get, blah. They can't talk.
Too much technology.
I think so. I'm saying people under 40 can't talk. What do you guys think? And then you guys don't say anything.
No.
Yeah, and people over 60 just tell the same stories over and over again. That's true. Well, I saw a commercial yesterday on YouTube. There was a big fat kid doing a toy commercial, and he was rapping. He dressed up like gangsta, and had that big fur coat on and stuff. Have y'all seen that?
I haven't seen that one.
It was hilarious. I had to watch the whole thing. But I'm like, what is this? And what kind of advertising is it? And he was advertising for a toy company or something. How many of y'all have seen that? Let me Google it. Kid rap.
People are saying they're starting to see eBay ads, but on Sundays locally to where I live, there's German radio, because in the Kitchener-Waterloo area in Ontario, I don't know if anyone's familiar, but it historically used to be a very German population. Actually, it used to be called Berlin or New Berlin. So all those older people, an hour on a Sunday, they play German, like talk old polka, and they talk a little bit in German and what the news is and everything. So I would listen to that just to try and stay fresh with my German. And I heard an eBay ad. And I'm like, I don't know. This was last year. I'm like, I don't know who eBay is hiring to do their ads, but they're milking them, because that's like probably the cheapest ad spot. It's in German.
Right.
Who out of those people are looking to shop on eBay? They don't even know how to use a computer. They're in their like late 80s and early 90s, so I couldn't believe it. It was like, are you looking for this? Blah, 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 blah. It was all in German. I just couldn't believe it.
I think I've heard more Poshmark and Macari ads than I have eBay.
Yeah, well, they said they don't want to do it. Jamie Iannone says, no, I don't want to. We don't get a good return on ad spend with that, so we want our sellers to drive the traffic, and we kind of just offer a platform.
Yeah, promote listings.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I wonder if they're just trying to live off their history. They were number one in the market. I can see both sides of it, but.
So Lissa says that I know exactly what Josh is saying. I often talk to a 35-year-old seller, and even the business banter is very odd. Josh is spot on. I've made it a game, Lissa. So when people are like that with me, I try and hang on a little bit longer. It's just to entertain myself. I'll just take one step into their personal space. I'll keep pushing and pushing. When they want to leave, I'll ask them a question just to keep it going. I've turned it into a game now where I'm like, I'm just going to be that guy.
Just don't start doing it to elderly people. I don't want to be victimized by the Josh Witt.
What do you think, Todd? What do you think? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and this I agree. I don't understand why they're so dependent on the sharing. I know they came out as that was their differentiator, being a social platform, but I think so much of that is driven by that. And with all the bots out, why are they even prioritizing that as a method, on Poshmark she was talking about.
I suppose it's like, when you mention something on YouTube or wherever, and then all of a sudden you get advertisements for that item. So Chastity, you're probably more into fashion than I am, so I don't ever see the fashion ads.
There's always somebody listening everywhere. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
We've been in live chats, not on live like on YouTube, but just hangouts behind the scenes and stuff. And somebody would mention something, and 10 minutes later, I just got that ad on Facebook.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sometimes I'm talking like, oh, I'd love to go to Paris. You know, I went a long time ago, and I'll think about it, and you know, it's coming up in my conversations and whatever. And then my ads on my phone, like on the browser, it's all for like Paris. Thinking of going to
Travel
Paris, and
agents, and yeah,
there's something up with that. It's listening for sure.
I see that from a business perspective, targeted advertising,
Yeah,
etc. But from a privacy perspective, my
yeah,
phone is always listening for me to say Siri. So
yeah,
how does it know if I'm saying Siri if it's not listening to everything I say?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I, I
yeah.
think I
Targeted
think
advertising.
I think people have become too comfortable with technology.
Yeah,
Like Texas friends, even if they're in the same room.
That I've got a 17-year-old son, just turned 17. Actually, yeah, October. And it drives me crazy. His generation, I can call. I pay for his cell phone. Obviously, he doesn't have a job. I'll call him. He'll be away from the house. Call him. Won't answer. But I see him 2 minutes later. He'll send me a text. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm like, wait. I pay for your phone.
yeah,
Only reason
yeah.
you have it is so you can when I can get in touch with you. I'm like, my daughter's the same way.
Uh,
Sometimes I'll call, and it's
My son is 12. He is one of the only ones in his class that doesn't have a cell phone. And it's a weird thing because his friends will text my number asking if he can play. And I don't feel comfortable. Like I'd rather their parents called me and been like, "Hey, is Henry around? Like, you know, my son wants to play with him." I don't like little kids texting. Like I don't feel comfortable.
well,
It doesn't
you never know in this day and age.
exactly. I don't want, you know, I'd rather the kids just come to the house and then knock on the door or whatever, you know, looking for them, or they just even just wander around the neighborhood and go find each other. So
Times have changed.
Felix says that I have a 12-year-old also. He just got a phone, but no phone line. I'm ready to get a landline so that they can talk.
And no call waiting.
No screen, I think, too. I think if I were to get him a phone, I'd just get him an old flip phone.
I've got 2 adult daughters. They're 5 years apart. They're in their upper 20s, low 30s, and when they were
dang, you're old.
in that, yeah, exactly, in that middle school, junior high age, cell phones were not big, but we could get what was that thing called? You say a flip phone, but it was smaller than a flip phone. It didn't even have a keypad, so they had 2 buttons: call mom, call dad. And I think we could program one more button, so they could only call 2 people, and we could call it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what that thing was called. It was cool.
I used to have I remember buying a telephone cord that was really, really long because we'd only have the one phone. I didn't want my parents to hear what I was saying. And I would take that cord all the way and I'd go in a closet and close the door. And I could see the shadow outside the closet. My mom's listening, you know.
You had another 18 feet of the curled up
Yeah,
going to the handset. You could stretch those out.
yeah.
Unplug the Wi-Fi so the family has to talk.
Like says, how's he going to grow up to be an eBay seller? Oh my goodness.
Without a phone.
Yeah.
That's when it was tough, when you couldn't pull comps in a store.
That's when you had to rely on your knowledge.
Yep.
You don't need that now.
I sold back on Amazon before any of the scanning apps were out, books and stuff like that. And it was
So, Craig, did you say you are no longer working for the man? You're all full-time reselling now? Did
I've
you
gone
say
back.
that?
My last 2 full-time jobs have been not good experiences. I got laid off back in September. Was working for a way overpriced outdoor furniture manufacturer, like 5 minutes from the house. And I was there. October would have been a full year, and during that time they went through 2 layoffs. So I got laid off back in September. Luckily, I got a little bit of a severance package, so that's helped to survive. I'm just trying to. My wife has started a catering and meals to go business. We're in the final stages of that with licensing and all that kind of stuff. I'm doing this and 2 antique booths. It's been a struggle, but if it was easy, anybody could do it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no doubt you can make a full-time living reselling. I mean, I don't, but I don't have to. But
Well, I
I
do.
forgot.
I
I'm
think if
not
I
your age,
had
so
to, I would do just okay. I wouldn't get rich, but doing what I do, I think I can make a full-time income if I just that's all I did, or
I
you know,
I have to
worked
go
harder.
back for a year full time at some point before I turn 55 to qualify for my defined benefits at 55.
Right? Ugh. Are you looking forward to that?
No.
Ugh.
Otherwise, I have to wait, I think, until 67. But that 12-year period, that's a lot of free money. So
So
if I
what's the
can,
least amount of work you would be expected to do to qualify for a full-time position for a year?
I'd have to do 1,200 hours of work.
1,200
It,
hours in a year?
yeah.
Dang.
hmm.
Which I think isn't too bad. It's 30 hours a week, maybe. Am I wrong? No, less than that, even 24.
Yeah, 30 hours a week, you could still do
Yeah, I
quite a
think it's like
lot of
24 hours a
reselling.
week. 24 hours a week. I think it's doable.
depends
But
what the job is, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um, yeah, there are people who live on what I make reselling, and I'm like, how do they do that?
Depends on what your cost of living is,
I guess
where you live. I
they
know a
must,
lot of people that live in areas that the cost of living is minuscule.
but it's yeah,
John,
I I would be very close to the poverty level if I if I had to live on what I make reselling.
John Jones, I've thought about that. John says, can't you just start a corp and then work for that on paper? I've thought about that. My business would have to be a lot more profitable than what it is now. I mean, I got some time maybe to get there, but I would have to take on that. Um, I'd have to take on that pension fund, pay myself, like have the corporation pay me, and then also pay into the benefits program for a year at 54 or so. And then I could do it and still work for myself. So it's an option, but not, this, I'd have to be like way into the seven figures because that's super expensive for it to be worth it.
Yeah,
Come on, Inez, I know your husband's got a hard working job.
for you.
What did Chastity
The
say?
problem is, and even I think the killer is the surprises. So even if you get everything working, like this week, I've had my exhaust fell out of my older car, like right on the highway, bang, and it's just dragging. The dryer broke, my phone broke, and I'm like, that's like $5,000 right there, and just a surprise. But you can't really juice your income on eBay in a week. $5,000 is not possible, right? So
Right.
I feel like that everybody probably feels that is that you're, just like always fighting not to fall behind.
There you go, Inez. Uh,
Oh,
I know, Todd, you mentioned this on Kevin's video, but I think for a lot of people, if you're doing full time, your take home is coming around 30%. Some people are better and some than that, and some people are
right?
worse, but you just have so many costs that, and then that 30% often gets reinvested into new inventory. So it's a grind.
Well, I was
especially
subtracting out the cost of inventory in my estimate with Kevin. Um,
But
I think I'm at 30% even taking out the reinvestment.
but you have bills that are probably paid with Social Security and your teacher's pension, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So, but full time, like, I for a lot of full time people, like starting, and I'm not because when these videos are not directed towards anything, you guys or anything, but then nothing. You don't have anything other than you know your own ability to try and generate this income just from the business. Like, there's no fallback.
that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. And so if eBay, like if you have a thing like, and a lot of people are like, what's the big deal? You're stressing over, not losing sales for 3 days. That's like $2,200. That's a huge kick right before, because this is the time where it's busy is Q4. It hurts,
Right.
when you're steady and you're working and everything's going well, and then it just drops because of some case or something like that you can't do anything about. It hurts.
Like we were talking about earlier, I don't understand it. One case causing that much havoc. I mean, I'm not questioning whether it's happening to you.
Yeah.
I'm saying, why does that have such a big impact from the technology perspective, from the eBay side?
I
can
wonder
understand if you got 4, 5, 6 of those,
yes.
maybe based on volume, etc.
Yeah.
There's got to be some calculation other than, hey, this guy's got an outstanding case. Let me shut his store down.
It always happens to me. The slowdown will come first, and then like it comes first like 20 hours ahead of time, or like 16 hours ahead of time, and then I figure out what the problem is. Every time it just completely shuts off. The only thing I can think of is that they're looking into it and they're like, okay, just in case there's fraud, or because it doesn't really matter to eBay.
Right.
There's fraud or funny business. We're going to put the brakes on this one while we figure out what's going on, and then we'll let them go again, or whatever the case may be. And I think that might just be like reducing visibility, because they probably see a ton of fraud and we just get caught up in that. But when I was talking to Bert Bassett, the eBay director guy, he's like, these cases and customer service are very expensive to eBay. So, basically they have something built in that is going to punish you, in not so many words,
right.
if you don't resolve these cases on your own. So,
and all that's done with technology. It's not a human pushing a button.
Exactly. It's all automatically done. No one's like out to get Josh. It's just we're getting caught up in that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of with American Honey here. Reselling is great in that I'm too old to do physical labor anymore and such like that. Um, it's great. You can do reselling up into your 70s and 80s if you need to.
You don't
You
have
know
too
what
many
I'm
more years
saying?
left, do you?
Huh?
You don't have too many more years left, do you?
No, I'm 69 tomorrow. I'll be 70 the next year. But it's like I don't know. It's been a great supplement to our household, and I'd hate to try to live on just my retirement income. Jeez.
Oh,
yeah.
That would be tough. I could do it, but it'd be no vacation, no nice vacations, nothing expensive for Christmas, that type thing. And eat beans instead of that $5 a pound chicken.
Plus, this is fun. It's kind of fun. It can
Yeah.
be a lot of fun.
A lot of the fun is just all the people I've met on YouTube and learning how to do. I'm not a businessman. I didn't know anything about reselling until 9 years ago.
I think
everything I've learned about reselling, I always say this, I learned from YouTube, watching all the different people and applying what they do to what I do.
I think a lot of people got, maybe even myself to a certain degree, because I put up this banner. It was like, I'm not doing this because it's easy. I'm doing this because I thought it would be easy. But we watched a lot of these, like, we were kind of bought and sold with a lot of these personalities, a cult of personality on YouTube, where they're like, we make millions of dollars. It's so easy. You just got to do this every day and it's no problem, and everything else. And they were kind of the savants of reselling. I'm like, well, if all you're doing is working hard every day, I can do that. And, I can make this into like this big business too. And, well, reality comes quick, and you realize this is actually very difficult. Even if you're willing to work your butt off, put up good items, all this other stuff, there are so many moving parts that make this really, really hard to build a sustainable income where you're comfortable. You know what I mean? Where you're comfortable, where you can pay for extracurriculars for the kids, your health care, get a car, go on vacation, all these things.
I think the hardest part of it is staying ahead of the technology, or staying as close as you can to the technology. Like you're talking about the way eBay algorithm works.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Dusty again, Alabama Pickers. He used to obsess over what would push something up in the algorithm. And I think too many people are not interested in that side because they don't want to understand it. But yet they want to complain when the algorithm or Cassini or whatever the heck you want to call it doesn't present their items high enough in the list. It's always changing because they don't want unfair advantage for any one seller.
It'd be interesting to see what, like I wonder, because when Dusty was doing it, he was an OG, and those guys that kind of came after him and really got some fame on YouTube, I really wonder what he would have thought about that, and how he would be operating in this sort of environment, because he was really innovative. He was always trying new things and doing all this crazy stuff that everybody was like, what are you doing, man? This
he wasn't afraid to try anything. Todd knows a handful of these people. A lot of people would just sit on the side and just analyze, hey, if I do this, what happens? If I do this, what happens? And it was people that were not geographically, close to each other. So there was, and so many people don't want to do that. They just want to I think so much of this new generation is, I just want to list something and forget about it.
That's me.
I want to let it sit for 18 years.
That's me.
Right.
That's pretty much me.
Everybody takes a different approach. I don't
want to look at it again until it's shipped.
Right.
Yeah, I've got 1,600 items in my store. I sell about compared to the amount of items I sell, that's a lot. So I need to do a lot of purging. I really do.
I think I have about 22,000 in my store. I was selling up until 3 days ago about 20 to 25 a day between my site and eBay. But I think like Wednesday I had 2 sales, and then like maybe 0. So it's not been going well. So hopefully I get back into the eBay fun loop as they reindex me or whatever the heck they got to do.
Right.
I was sitting here yesterday at work, and then not last night, the night before, I put on like I said, I've got a lot of low end cards, so I put on a buy 5 get 1 free sale. Did it late right before I went to bed, and I was sitting working. I had been sitting down for like 10 minutes. My phone goes,
yeah.
Somebody bought 18 cards at once. I was like,
oh, I love that.
$1 or $2 a piece isn't a big deal, but when they buy that number,
I think it's a fine line, 24K.
It is,
I am
Felix.
not attached to anything that I'm selling, but it's still over there. It hasn't sold. And
Felix, you know what makes me feel good is that when I go to other dealers to do buyouts or whatever, and they've got these like little narrow aisles that you walk down, and it's all just stuff mounted, and it's like 8 feet on either side, and it's all like antiques and stuff. And I'm like, you haven't looked in this pile in 30 years. And then I think to myself, okay, that's a hoarder. At least my stuff is organized on the shelf. It's up listed. So I would say, 70-30.
Like I've sold some Magic, and I haven't done Pokemon on TCG. I did okay over there. I've got all my Magic stuff is over on eBay now.
Isn't TCG eBay anyway? Don't they own it now?
I couldn't tell you. What are your thoughts on the whole paradigm of paying somebody to list your items? I struggle with that. I'm not here to bash anybody that does it. I'm just saying I'm very analytical.
That was a big deal, getting a lister out of India or somewhere to do stuff for you, virtual assistant or whatever they were called. I don't hear much talk about that anymore.
Well, my opinion has always been the hardest thing to do is taking the pictures.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's the most time suck.
Because your category. Because
anything I list. If I said, you probably sell a lot of potentially one of a kind items. Potentially, I would assume. The general things that people are selling. If I take a picture of it, I've always been a firm believer. I'm gonna use somebody else's listing. It's sold in the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna do a sell similar. If they've sold it, that means there's the good information's in there. I can take once I've done pictures, I can list something in 2-3 minutes.
I see. I think it's the Resale Brothers. I think what they do is they take pictures of the clothing,
right,
with a ruler or a yardstick to measure the sizes, and then they'll put a sticky on it with the size, and then they'll upload it to a Google Doc, and then somebody else will do all
Right.
the listing. So that might work for them, that all they're doing is the picture. But for one-offs, I mean, like some of this stuff, like I still can't figure out where this powder mill exploded in 1870. Like, how are they going to know? They're not going to have a clue. So
Right.
it doesn't work for me, but whatever works for people's
Right.
businesses.
I think most items that are readily available, there's not as much research done. I think the majority of your time is probably spent doing research,
Yeah.
etc. But I've always been a big proponent of sell similar to something that's sold in the last 2 weeks. Verify, do a quick scan of the item specifics.
The hack is, I think, for everybody, is line up. If you want to list 50 a day, line up 50 items that are the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you have enough ahead of you. So I'll do like 50 of these, and then maybe I'll do 50 cassettes, and then I'll do 50 CDs, and it makes it so you don't have to change much, mostly just the title and maybe one or two item specifics, and that's it.
Alejandro, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going there. I'll keep my mouth shut on my opinion on that, but that's okay. That's just me.
Yeah, I listed like 12 in horse tack yesterday, so it was similar stuff, but that's about as close as it gets in the stuff that I buy. But
I try and do 60 a day, but some days, like I was doing posters the other day, it just slowed me right down. But
those all went in file 13 lag.
That's for file 13 is long-term storage, isn't it?
See, that's one thing you learn when you do stuff like phone cases. It's easy to get brand new inventory, but it's all for who needs an iPhone 6 case?
that's why it's easy to get. Nobody wants it.
Yeah. So it's just, no, I'm not even going to take the time to look them up anymore. And I've tried selling that phone cases before, and they just don't sell. So
Because there's so many of them that are $1 free shipping from China.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just learn stuff like that as you go along, right? I think that's one of the keys to becoming a better seller is just keep learning,
Yeah. And of course, there's always the Amazon approach where you kind of reverse engineer the product, and then you go directly to supplier, and then you are now the intermediary, and you make your cut. Like that is probably the best way to really grow a business.
Yeah,
eBay is
what
very
Grumpy
much
John
harder.
does, right?
Yeah, eBay is so much harder. I was watching a video from James and comparing the prices on Amazon of some of this media versus eBay. It's 40% cheaper on eBay, and it moves like 100 times slower. So,
Do you know if he sells on Amazon?
who? James used to. He was selling, but then he was doing a lot of, like, he had people working for him. I think like 4 or 5 people working for him. He was selling a lot of media, but then something happened where he was selling local artists or something like that, and there was a complaint that the media was, not
Legit.
not that it isn't legit. It's just it's not from like one of the big Columbia or like one of the big record companies.
Right.
So they asked him, is this the legit thing or something like that, and they just took everything down. So he's like,
there's no media that sells well over there. I didn't know if he would.
Yeah, so I think he might start again. He talks about it. I saw the wheels turning yesterday in his video, but I don't think he's sold on there in a long time.
Yeah, the sell through over there the velocity over there is incredible. That's where I started. I started with books and CDs over there years ago.
Yeah, I saw people selling cases of like Starbucks cold brew, and they're sending in like 200 cases a day because stuff is moving so quickly. It's crazy.
I think the last thing I sold over there in volume was the Monopoly game that Scott did.
Oh yeah,
I was in the know during that. I didn't do real well, but I did okay. I got in on the end, and I live here in Alabama. I had to send them into FBA because I didn't want to fulfill them. I had to go all the way to a dang warehouse in California for some reason. I assumed they were low inventory or something, and that's
yeah.
So I had to wait on it to get there, but they all sold within a number of hours.
I don't think any of my stuff I could send into Amazon. I don't think it would. It's not the place for it.
Yeah.
But
I've heard a lot of talk about that lag, Walmart coming from Amazon. I know some people that will buy things in store that are not offered on Walmart.com from a third party seller, mark it up and sell it there.
Walmart sent me an invitation to sell used on the platform, and I don't even have a Walmart account. I can't even tell you the last time I stepped foot in an actual Walmart, probably 10 years ago. But they still sent me an email saying that I've been pre-approved for selling used on the platform. So I wonder if they stole eBay or Amazon's black book.
Yeah. Walmart's all self-fulfilled, though. They don't have anything like FBA where you ship it in, do they? I don't think they do.
I don't know, but they've got the infrastructure that they could. They've got stores everywhere.
Right.
They could if they want, and they could do the returns there too if they really wanted to.
Yeah. Talking about Amazon, you think eBay's finally given up on following their lead on things?
I think eBay is like, you know the dog races, the greyhound races, where they have that rabbit that's running ahead, and that's what the dogs chase after. I think that's like money and eBay. They just chase after that money, and wherever so they're seeing exactly. Other platform tries this, they're going to do that if it makes them more money, and I think that's their like sole focus is how do we really just juice as much as we can. So
I wish they'd just go back to their roots.
They probably will at some point. I think it's because they're such a huge corporation that, okay, let's go back to 2021. Go to YouTube on 2021. Everyone's like, I'm making so much money. I'm going to buy a house, buying cars, money's raining money. I buy this stuff for cheap. And then eBay sees that and they're like, we can make more in fees. The post office sees that and says, we can raise prices. Goodwill sees that and says, we can raise prices. Like we're letting money walk out the door. The problem with eBay is it's so massive that they're like late to the party. So they're like, okay, how are we going to do this? They have all their meetings. They run it through legal. They do this, they do that. A year later, when everyone else is feeling things slow down, now all of a sudden they're increasing fees. They're rolling out promoted and blah, 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 blah. So while we're like, where is this going to end? They're probably already working on, some other thing to integrate with sellers and blah, 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 blah. So I just think they're late. They're so slow to move.
Yeah.
I don't think they probably thought good times are going to be here maybe like 10 years, or I don't think they thought it was going to get this bad. So I really don't know. But
American Honey, I would like to see a demographic of my age, people who buy from me. Is there a way to find that out on eBay, the age of the people who buy from you?
Well, I send stuff to old age homes. Also, when you see names like when you see names like Ethel and Mildred, yeah,
that's Todd's wife's name. I'm just kidding, Todd.
No, she's young. She's 7 years younger than me.
Nice.
I can't keep up with her.
What I'm talking about AI earlier with eBay and all that. One thing I wish they would get a better handle on is item specifics autofilling as much as it can. I know some of it does, but in this day and age with a picture and my title, if I've already entered a title, they should be able to infer a lot of information.
I wonder
if you're structuring your title right.
They might want to slow people down though too. I met with someone on Monday who can list 20,000 items in a week. Wow, it's a fully automated process. Everything is fully automated. It drops through a scanner and that, fully automated. So I wonder too, if they're like, we need to slow this down or else this site is just going to be swimming in these, especially now with AI being able to fill everything out and send a listing live just from a photo. Yeah. I wonder if they want to slow it down a little bit to give people, like regular people, a fighting chance.
Does that become the Chinese seller of this decade?
Yeah, I think so. I saw a guy, he was scanning barcodes. He had finger scanners, which would attach to a Keepa app. So he could just scan, like you slip it on your finger and you can just touch the barcode and it would tell you right away what the profit on Amazon for that item would be. So he was wearing like multiple of them, feeding into the same thing, and he's got two hands. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, media is that's one advantage of media. You can scan that stuff, and it's so easy to list something on Amazon compared to eBay. I know two different markets, two different audiences, etc. But that's one thing I wish they would adopt. And it is easy to list media on eBay, but not.
You'd need a buy box, and then everybody would be upset because the people in the buy box would be hitting all the time, and then the people that weren't using it, like for example, like a CD, like a Pantera CD, or I don't know, like a Doris Day CD.
Right.
They'd want it new, and then they'd have a buy box. I guess, you could do that. I think people would be complaining too, because they'd be like, well, I found mine in a storage unit. It's not perfectly clean, and now I have nowhere to sell it. So right. I don't know,
So the two biggest ages on eBay is 25 to 44 years old.
I would not have guessed that.
No, me neither.
From that's a buyer's perspective, or just in general?
Yeah, I typed in average age of eBay buyers.
I would have guessed 40 to 60 would have been my guess.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that the older ones are buying the more expensive stuff, and it seems that way.
Good point.
I don't know. Anyway, I thought that would. You kind of piqued my interest there, American Honey. It'd be interesting to see how old people are that buy from eBay. It covers a lot of. I mean, that chart showed that a lot of the different age groups are buying on there. So I don't know.
I always know when I have a younger buyer because I've got automatic payment set up, and then it won't go through, and then they'll message me like a little bit later, and they're like, "Oh, can I pay Friday?" So I guess the payment didn't clear. So I'm like, "Oh."
That's one thing I've never understood. What other platform can you go and buy something and not pay for it immediately?
A debt does not mean much to people anymore. They're just like
Walmart layaway, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, buy now.
Is that even a thing anymore? I don't know if you can do that. Can you?
I think so.
I don't know.
I've never done it, but
How old are you?
I know that would. Nah, probably.
I need to know how well to pack this. I need to know your age.
Yeah.
You could just message them before they pay or when they pay. What's that thing they used to put in, like A/S/L ?
Age, sex, location.
Yeah.
I know. Or just when I sell something like an intimate kit, and I ask the age, do you really need this? You're only 25.
Todd, you're just putting it out there that if you sell that thing, you're putting it out there that you're going to get a return on it. That thing is going to go the full 29 days, and then on day 30, they're going to return it.
Sorry, this did not work as expected.
Yeah, not as described.
I know. This thing is so shitty.
Oh, my. I'll leave that one alone.
Okay. All right. We need to shut this. I've got stuff to do.
Get to work, everybody.
I've got to get out the decorations for my birthday tomorrow.
Bye. Happy birthday, Todd. Have a good weekend.
Have a good one.
Enjoy your birthday
Craig.
weekend.
Thank you, Josh. Y'all made a great show today, I think.
Take care, everyone in the chat. Thank you today for joining us.
When it's just me and Tom, we're just old ass guys going. Bye, Craig.
All right, man. Have a good one.